the defense's motion. The court's also perused the state's fourth amended information, which was filed on May the 3rd, 2021. Mr. Davis, anything else that you'd like to tell the court before I make an oral announcement at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Anything from the state?
No, sir.
All right, the court is going to go ahead and make its oral announcement. Court's going to deny the motion for judgment of acquittal pursuant to Rule 3.380. The court will consider any further motions under Rule 3.380 at the end of all the evidence in the cause. The court would also note that it would accept any sort of supplemental case law with respect to the racketeering count one. The court still is wrapping its mind around, as far as what the court's been able to find, the uniqueness of the racketeering charge as it relates to a solo actor who is a member of a law enforcement agency. I would ask that if counsel would like to supplement their arguments with respect to case law, if you could provide them to my office by the end of the day on Saturday, specifically any case law that you think is guiding to the issues that the court set forth earlier. Specifically, the court is comfortable that unless there's case law that you provide me that indicates otherwise, that the sheriff's office can be an appropriate entity or enterprise in this case as far as the Florida RICO statute is concerned. The bigger issue for the court, or what the court's really struggling with, is whether Mr. Wester's actions, even under the guise and while on duty as an officer in an individual or solo capacity, can constitute an action that would fall under the Florida RICO statute. As of right now, I am denying the motion for judgment of acquittal on that issue, specifically for the reasons I set forth earlier, but the court would be glad to consider any supplemental case law that counsel would like to provide. Again, that needs to be provided to Ms. Phillips by the end of the day, 5 p.m. on Saturday, so that the court can have adequate time to look at it on Sunday before we get back together on Monday. As always, the court will consider a supplemental motion for judgment of acquittal at the close of all the evidence in the case, and we'll give counsel adequate time during that period as well to present any additional case law or argument that you'd like to make. Mr. Davis, anything else you want to put on the record at this time?
Yes, sir.
State anything else from you?
I just made sure that we had clean copies of this, hard copies, and I wanted to hand it to the clerk on the record. Is that all right?
That's fine. And here, Mr. Clerk, here's the 3 cases I cited from the defense. These are all clean cases. All right, let's talk about tomorrow. Mr. Davis, you indicated you may have 2 additional witnesses in conjunction with Mr. Wester. Do you still anticipate having 2 additional witnesses for tomorrow?
Judge, actually, I think it's going to be 3 witnesses now.
Okay. And who do you anticipate, other than Ms. Wester, those additional witnesses will be?
Jeffrey O'Pry with the Florida Highway Patrol, Trevor Lee, who was formerly with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and then we are going to recall Caleb Corbin.
Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second. Pull my notes out here. You said O'Pry.
O'Pry.
You said Lee.
Lee.
Who was the third you're going to recall?
Corbin. Caleb Corbin. If you're looking at the state's list, Judge, he was the first, second, third, 4th person on the first page.
Okay. Yeah, he was. We heard from him late in the morning on May the 10th. Okay.
Correct.
You anticipate what order you're going to call him in tomorrow?
Probably Corbin, O'Pry, and Lee.
Okay. After we get done with Lee, I will go through the colloquy or ask you outside the presence of the jury whether Mr. Wester would like to testify. I know that you have indicated earlier that he anticipates testifying in this case. I'll let you have as much time as you need to talk about that strategic issue of Mr. Wester. After you're done with that, I'll put Mr. Wester under oath and make sure that he is comfortable and understands his rights with respect to testifying or not testifying. Make sure that whatever decision he makes is his decision, and then we'll move forward in that direction. Anything else before we adjourn for the day, Mr. Davis?
Judge, then would still the plan be if we finish tomorrow, we're not going to go straight in? Okay.
No, we may well indeed, and I would anticipate, depending on how it goes, a charge conference potentially in the afternoon tomorrow. But we will not start instructions tomorrow. That will be a Monday issue at the earliest.
Judge, regarding any potential state's rebuttal case, again, I can't fully anticipate, but as best I can. I don't think that'll be necessary, but I know we're trying to move timely. Should
Well,
I anticipate having any state rebuttal witnesses here tomorrow?
Let's talk about that at lunch tomorrow. I mean, I guess the first question is do you know if you anticipate a rebuttal witness? And if so, if you can anticipate that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have them prepared to potentially be ready to go tomorrow afternoon. The nature of a rebuttal witness sometimes is you don't know that you're going to need a rebuttal witness. So,
Would it be okay if my staff reached out to those witnesses and let them know that there's a potential they could be called and they need to remain close in the area?
yeah, I would ask that between 1 and probably 3:30, they remain available tomorrow, that where they can get to the courthouse within 15 or 30 minutes. If we don't need them, if we don't need them by 3:30, I'm not going to call them at 4:30 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So we'll let them know by 3:30 or 3:45 if we'll need them, and if not, they're free to go about their business after about 3:45. And if we need them, we'll just deal with them on Monday.
Yes, sir.
But I anticipate, depending on the nature and length of testimony tomorrow, that we'll either be doing instructions Monday morning or Tuesday morning. It just depends on how long the defense's case is, and then how many rebuttal witnesses we need to have. But
Yes,
we're
sir.
certainly not in a rush at this point in time.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir.
All right. We will see you tomorrow morning. If counsel will be seated and defense will be seated about 8:20, that would be great. Thank you.